Hi, this is Tony Barr, and this is the Reality and Truth Show. And I'm sitting in again for David Goodman, and I have a very special gentleman here tonight, Charlie Coveillo. He's a three-time runner for mayor of Bridgeport, Connecticut, and he's also seeking office again. And hopefully, this will be the charm for him. But at the same time, it's a long ways away, and we have a lot of other stuff we want to cover. And thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you, Tony, for having me. We've known each other for just a very short period of time, and I really appreciate being able to come on the show.
And thank you for coming. We're going to cover a lot of stuff, important stuff for Bridgeport, Connecticut. People need to know what's going on here in Bridgeport. And a lot of stuff is going to be expressed here today. And we're going to start off right off the top with one of the most important topics right now, Joseph Ganim.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's talk a bit about Joe. First of all, I want to make very clear that Joe Ganim has a right to run for mayor or any other office that he wishes to run for. I don't agree with the mayor. I think that the people of Bridgeport are intelligent enough and smart enough to make a decision as to whether or not to vote for somebody or not to vote for somebody. He's done his time, and he needs to have his rights restored 100%, which is what the state has done now, and I don't think there should be any laws that are outlawing whether or not Joe Ganim runs. I think it's because the mayor's afraid of him, but that's beside the point. I think he's got more to be afraid of from me than he does from Joe Ganim.
The panel, he has more to be afraid of
and
the
let
panel.
me just add some more about Joe, okay? For those people who think that he was such a great mayor, we need to stop and think, first of all, that Joe is part of the same club as Bill Finch. He's part of the same club as Mary Jane Foster. And what I mean by that is they proved it. The other night they had a fundraiser for Stephen Staffstrom, and all three of them showed up at the fundraiser. And they all contributed money to Steve Staffstrom, who also is a member of the club. His uncle is John Staffstrom, who happens to be the bonding commission, making a lot of money from us citizens as the bonding commission for both the state of Connecticut and the city of Bridgeport. To me, that's being a member of the club. Joe also was the person in charge of Steele Point. And as a realtor, I could tell you that many of those people who lost their properties through eminent domain on the Steele Point project lost their properties and lost them at a cost to themselves, and they were stolen from them. Those properties were totally, absolutely stolen. They didn't pay fair price, and those people didn't have attorneys to be able to go to court with them. And so Joe Ganim was part of that theft, okay? Has nothing to do with what he did as mayor in terms of getting sent away. This has to do with the fact that they actually literally stole properties. Bill Finch is stealing properties from people today through the WPCA and back taxes. They're not giving people an opportunity to be able to pay those, and they're doing it mostly to elderly people that they're taking these properties. These types of things have to end. The only way you're going to see him end is to have somebody that doesn't represent the club in as mayor.
Let me cut in here then. Okay, so your definition of the club is same old people, same old game.
They've been running this city for 30 years.
For 30 years. Okay, with that being said, so what would you do differently than what you've stated in reference to the club? How do we put some understanding?
Well, first of all, everybody that I appoint won't be out-of-towners. We'll appoint Bridgeporters to serve Bridgeporters. Also, the people that are appointed are going to look more like you than they do like me. Okay? And that's another thing. If you go to City Hall today, 70% of the citizens in this city are brown or black. Okay? They don't represent the people that are in City Hall. Those people all live out of town. They don't live in the city of Bridgeport. They take the money out of town. They spend it in the other towns surrounding us. They don't spend the money here. And I really think that we need Bridgeporters as the people that are working and running the city of Bridgeport.
Okay, well, let me say this then, because this is what I believe that concerning law enforcement. I believe that in order to be a police officer, I don't know what your position is on this. In order to be a police officer in Bridgeport, I believe that you should be a residency of Bridgeport for at least 5 years and live in Bridgeport. Would you agree with that?
I tend to agree with that, but I also believe that and I'm glad you mentioned the police department, because I was part of being the support group for the Bridgeport Guardians when at one time there were only 3 black policemen in the city of Bridgeport. That was back in the 70s when Ted Meekins and Charlie Smith and Al Best filed a lawsuit against the city of Bridgeport for discrimination. And I was probably the only white politician that supported them in their efforts. The same is true as far as the fire department was concerned. I supported the fire members that filed a lawsuit against the city for the same reasons. I happen to believe that this police department should represent the makeup of the community.
Absolutely.
That is there. Whether they live out of town or in town, they should represent and be made up such as the community is.
Right. Well, the reason that I stated that, okay, he's coming in. He walks in. The TV boss just walked in. Slide. Cheer.
Yeah, I think we got to slide over for him.
Slide.
Got it? I don't know where his chair is, though. Hey, Dave, you know they have a saying about moving the chair away from the table? Okay? And you better make sure they don't move the chair away from the table. They've done that with you.
Mm-hmm. Check your mic, brother.
253. 1 2. Sorry, I'm late, guys.
No, that's the story of your life.
You're not even in the picture right now.
Oh, wait. Oh, my ugly head got in there.
Okay.
Hey,
okay.
listen, I don't know where you guys started at, but
Well, go ahead.
I just want to say one thing. The corruption in this city got to stop. And when I say corruption, I mean people do make mistakes in life. People get caught making mistakes in their life. But the problem here is you want to take their right to vote away. Let me tell you something. 99.9% of those people that voted Bill Finch for you and for the other people that are in office are convicted felons.
And they're going to be the ones to walk you out. Check. They're going to be the ones to walk you out of office as well.
That's right.
And another thing, too, that got on me today. Francisco, I just want you to see this, okay? This is the Jesus Faces back tax bill. A back tax bill, okay? And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. If the WPCA can go after you for not paying $452, then how the heck did the city of Bridgeport not go after him for $139,000 in back taxes? You foreclosed on everybody else. How come you didn't foreclose on him?
Dave, I know we just mentioned the WPCA and how Mayor Finch was stealing properties from people. And I had a lady that almost lost her house that I helped to save, a lady that almost lost her house for $7,800. And now this councilman, he's a present sitting councilman, owes $139,000 in back taxes, and nobody has done anything to him, including throwing him off the council. He should resign.
Well, basically, but now some people are saying he's not admitting to $139,000 that his bill's a little bit less.
Even if
I don't care if it's $40,000, you can foreclose on somebody else, but you can't foreclose on him. This is what I don't understand in this city. I don't get it. The picture is right here, right now, ladies and gentlemen. If you think about this, you're watching, and I'm going to tell you this. If the WPCA can foreclose for $500, for $142, for $234, how come the city of Bridgeport didn't go after him for back taxes on his property? Here goes another thing for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to bring this up because you know what? Now I'm really pissed off. Pissed.
Well, get it in.
Here we go. You ready for this, ladies and gentlemen? Look at Steele Point. When they property domained all those properties on Steele Point on Stratford Avenue, they were supposed to pay people. Did people get all their money that they were supposed to get? No, they did not. I know certain individuals, and I could get them on this show to say that they didn't get paid. You know, this city should be ashamed for itself. Ashamed. You want to take other people's properties. You want to push people out of their homes. You want to do this. You want to do that. You want to do this. But damn, look at yourselves in there.
Could I just cut in? Let me just say one. And the reason I got myself into the mayor race is because of the mayor. Couldn't even get me a job at McDonald's. And then has the nerve to talking about he's monitoring reentry back very closely with people coming back out of prison back into the streets, trying to put some understanding on their lives. That's a damn lie. Couldn't even get me a job at McDonald's. I'm coming for your job. I want your job. I make a person a promise, or I honor it. You've been making promises for over 100 years here to people in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and they still have the same old problems. None of them has been addressed.
You know, and that's a true act. Go ahead, Charlie. I want you to get in on this.
You know, basically, first of all, Dave, you must have been listening to us or something, because we started off with Steele Point. I was talking about, he said Joe Ganim, and I just went off on Steele Point, okay, about how people were getting cheated at Steele Point. They got cheated, and he was the guy that was the ringleader behind it, okay, back when they took all those properties. They still, and some of those people still haven't been paid for what they got taken from them.
You know,
and also when we talk about when we talk about change in this city, the change has to come from the people. The people have to get out and vote. Stop telling me that you can't make the change, because you can. Okay, but you got to start paying attention, and you got to start paying attention to who else is running for office besides the club members, and you know that's my favorite term now. My favorite term is the club.
You know, and I'm starting to think that, because
and the club is Joe Ganim, Mary Jane Foster, Bill Finch, and whoever else they might want to put up, Kenneth Bowles, whoever else they might want to put up. They do it to divide the vote in order to get themselves elected. And what we need to do is we need to get non-club members involved in running this city.
Well, Ernie Newton is up to 400 felons registered to vote, and we're going strong. The number's going to be crazy when time to vote comes.
Well, if you got 400, just think about it.
We're not going to continue to pretend, put black people as front people to say all the wonderful things. Tony Barr telling you that's all a lie. Not just a lie, a damn lie. The only people who are eating successfully, able to pay their bills in Bridgeport, Connecticut, are the Irish and the Italians. And whomever they choose to do business with, and they're not doing business with black African Americans. They're not doing nothing with us. Have no reason, because they believe the Latino numbers are growing stronger, so there's no reason. Andres Ayala has a $180,000 paying job to continue to help and employ Latino people through the state of Connecticut to make things look better for them. And every black person or African American person, you suffer just on ignorance, stupidity. And you get mad at me and distance yourself. You need to cling to Tony, and you will. Because you know what? The bum on the corner that can vote is going to vote. And we don't have the masses of money or none of those things, but what we do have is common sense. And the common sense will prevail when it's all said and done. Didn't come here tonight to vent and discredit people. That's not my job. My job is to come and tell you the truth. The truth is that our conditions in Bridgeport, Connecticut is sad. And it's sad because